I know that these humans are the real animals. I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow their house down.
As I lay here, y'all know Eddie Huang, right? I've listened to him over the last few years. First generation Chinese born immigrant of immigrant parents. I don't consider him an immigrant. I don't consider him at all an immigrant or born to immigrants. I know some things about tartary, just like the scrambling of history. Yet, this is a powerful message with a white supremacist. White supremacist. The correction and the Republican and democracy, which neither one is of this land. I just want you to listen to Eddie Huang. Excellent counter. Without emotions or feelings. When you steep yourself into facts. And the key word is who built the country. Well, whether you look at Bonacci, certain teachers, historians over and over, and a plethora of information still within the Vatican, Library of Congress, and numerous books that myself, a plethora of us, we know now, a plethora of us have shown. Check it out. It's pretty awesome. All right.
And especially the African-American experience. It's literally not duplicated anywhere on earth in history. African-Americans are a completely unique phenomenon as a people. Who they are culturally, what their history is, what their experience is, isn't duplicated anywhere on earth. You don't know where you came from. You don't know what country you came from. You don't know what culture you came from. You don't know what language you came from. You don't know what your religion was before. You, like I've said before, you're more American than anyone because you don't have any other identity. Actually, your entire identity is American-based. That's not the case of anyone else. I'm Irish American. I'm German American. I'm Italian American. I'm Jewish American. I'm this or that, the other. You can say African American, but you don't know anything about Africa. You don't even know which part of Africa. Africans don't call themselves that because I know my tribe. I have my language. I have my region, my country, my whatever. Like me saying European American. I'm not European. I'm specifically Irish and German. But you can't say that. You are American. You're the original Americans. You know? Everyone else is immigrants. You can't even be called immigrants. Yeah. You know? You're originally American, and your culture is as close to being the indigenous culture of America as there can be without you being the indigenous people. You know? You're the indigenous people of the entity called America, called the United States of America. Everything else came from elsewhere. Your culture is the only one that came from right there because you were cut off from everything else. You know, there's nobody else like that. There's nobody else like that in the world. There's no other culture like that in the world.
How it is you
Don't let
voted
it
for
frighten
Donald
you.
Trump when you're so into facts, because his entire campaign is not based in facts. It was all based in propaganda and emotion.
I voted for Donald Trump for one reason only. His policies, if implemented, would slow the dispossession of whites in the United States. If he were to deport all illegal immigrants, if he were to think very hard about letting in any Muslims, all of this would slow the rate at which whites are becoming a minority.
Why are you so worried about the white dispossession of America?
Because I want my people to survive. Is that so strange? We don't control China. We don't control any place where whites are not a majority. And if we become a minority, we will not control our own destiny anymore.
I grew up in this country as a minority, as the children of immigrants. I was their first child born in America. And while I didn't have much possession or didn't much control, I really enjoyed myself. And I think that if you ask a lot of Americans, they would say that I had a lot to offer this country. You know, according to you, I guess I would be perpetuating the dispossession of white America.
That is true. That is true.
Would you say that you wouldn't want me in this country?
At some point, when my ancestors built this nation, they did not build it with the intention of giving it away to Mexicans or Chinese or Haitians or to anyone else.
Do you consider, you keep saying your ancestors built this country, you consider that a fact?
Who else built it?
Black people, Native Americans, Chinese people who came and built the railroads.
Do you think none of that could have been
Italian
achieved?
people.
But they're Europeans, aren't they?
But you believe in evolution, right?
Evolution, I think, explains a great deal.
So, according to evolutionary theory, we're all out of Africa. So, at some point, your ancestors were sub-Saharan Africans.
So what? At some point, our ancestors were unicellular animals.
So I'm saying at any point in time, we could say you were an African. So you're choosing to pick this point in time and say you're a descendant of white Europeans.
Why do you think I'm choosing this point of time?
Because it's in favor of your politics at
It's
this
because
point.
I'm alive now. Come on.
My issue with you is that I don't think you have enough compassion and vision, not because I don't like what things are now, it's that I have hope and belief in what they could be.
Look.
Well, leave it in the comment section. I was thinking about putting this in the members only, but I thought, let me share this. Leave it in the comment section.